job he's doing. What a job he's doing. And North Carolina GOP Chairman Jason Simmons, who's been a friend of ours for a long time. Where's Jason? Nice tall.
Jason's away. Jason has left the rally.
Jason. And somebody that's been with me from day one, he's a real general. You know, we have the real generals and we have the fake woke generals.
The woke generals. Well, I certainly hope all the generals are awake.
Did so poorly in Afghanistan, should have all been fired, but this is a real general, Keith Kellogg. Right, Keith?
Keith Kellogg. He's a general of cereals.
And this is a great group.
This is a great group, you see. The magnificent group.
And very importantly, we have the most magnificent women. First time, you know.
It's the most magnificent women. First time. It's very personal.
How beautiful. And they're from North Carolina. And for a change, they don't have to travel so far, right? How far are you from here?
How far are you from here, and how long have you worked here?
Thank you very much. As
You're
always,
welcome.
you are special, special people, great women. They love our country.
Great women. Great, magnificent women.
Before I came up, I got to see him. And it really isn't a revision. It's a total lie. Total lie. There's never been any revision like this. They wanted it to.
There's never been a revision like this. Many people have said it. Go ahead and say.
Has been caught fraudulently manipulating job statistics to hide the true extent of the economic ruin that they've inflicted on America. The new data.
Oh, well, that's wrong.
Statistics shows that the administration padded the numbers with an extra, listen to this one, 818,000 jobs that don't exist. So they said.
No, the administration did not pad that. That's from the U.S. Labor Department. They make always make adjustments at the end of the year.
Quickly, but they wanted this to come out after November 5th when it wouldn't have meant so much, but it came out a little early, so there's a patriot in there someplace, right? The real numbers are much worse than that. And Comrade Kamala, you know, she's comrade, most radical left person ever to.
Well, I'm glad you're her friend.
Jobs vanish, millions and millions will vanish, and inflation they've given us.
Yeah, the whole country was in ruin, though. It was a dystopian science fictional nightmare.
Crime statistics, and they weren't that bad. And then they left out little things like New York, Chicago. They left out various areas, and that wasn't so good. Your life savings will be totally wiped out. And if you put somebody like that in.
No, they didn't leave those out.
Our country, just like she destroyed San Francisco, just like she destroyed California. With the Trump victory, we will once again have the greatest economy in history. We're going to do.
And the greatest battery.
Going to be fantastic. It's going to be fantastic. So I just want to thank you very much for your support, because I've always had fantastic support from you.
You've always had fantastic support from me.
Since the
Ooh, there's a
charade that they have going on, They mentioned my name, I think, 271 times. They mentioned the economy like 12 times. They mentioned the
221 times. Well, now's your chance to thank them.
271 times. They mentioned the economy like 12 times. They mentioned the border, maybe none. They don't talk about the border. Our great border czar doesn't talk about the border, but they mentioned me more than
The border czar. Border czar.
crazy, and they should be driven crazy. They've done a terrible job for our country in every single way. There's not a thing they've done well except cheat and lie.
That's not a thing they've done well except cheat and lie. Much like your marriages.
By the FBI, which is sad. 4 years ago, our country was strong and respected like never before. Our allies admired
Everybody laughed at us.
because everyone knew that as an American president, I was all about putting America first. That's true.
Yeah. Right after yourself.
States military created Space Force, and we made our allies.
Space Force. Space Force has been a wonderful thing.
Make a speech. They all made speeches. This one didn't even make a speech, this last one. But I went, I said, nobody's paying. You got to pay. And they did, paid hundreds of billions of dollars. They said, well, does that mean you won't support us if we don't pay? I said, that's what it means. I had to say that. I got a lot of heat for that.
We not supporters. Well, you don't really have to support us. Just don't be rooting for the other side.
The fake news was saying, what a terrible thing to say to our allies. Our allies weren't paying. And I said, you got to pay. We were paying for everybody.
Your allies, Russia.
That somehow doesn't work. So they had to pay. They paid hundreds of billions of dollars. But I said to them, no, that means I will not protect you. I will not protect you. They said, sir, if we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? Used to be Soviet Union, now Russia. Will you protect us? I said, are you paid? No, let's assume we're not paid. Then you're delinquent, right? Well, yes, that's an old real estate term. You're delinquent, yes. No, we will not protect you. The press went crazy.
We will not protect you. Well, that's kind of crazy because that's against everything.
Israel. We made peace in the Middle East with the Abraham Accords, and more. We did things like nobody ever heard of, and we brought.
Nobody ever heard of, nobody's ever seen.
Back home, we didn't start any wars for 79 years, it was before.
Well, it was a long term.
Wars with his attitude. No, my attitude kept us out of wars. I stopped wars with phone calls. Russia should have never happened. With Ukraine, would have never happened if I were president. Would have never happened. Nope, there was no talk of that.
And why?
7th would have never happened. Iran would have never done that. They had very
Why?
money at that point. Now they're rich as hell, but Biden allowed that to happen. And Kamala, where's Biden? What happened to Biden? Where is he? He's on a beach. He's on a beach. You know, he's got somebody that thinks he looks great in a bathing suit. He likes to go to a beach. How do you help?
Well, you were on a golf course, weren't you?
Walks badly. It's hard to walk in the sand. You know, he has a hard time lifting his feet through the sand. And then he grabs the chair. The chair is meant for old people to lift and young kids to lift, like, you know, 4-year-old kids, right? And he can't lift it. He needs a little help. The whole thing is crazy. How we.
Yeah, it certainly is. Don't do the thing about the lifting.
And we're very close to a third world war, and don't keep laughing, but they're not laughing too much. You're a little worried about a certain person winning the election. We had some very good polls today.
They're worried about it. Well, they're rooting for it.
was safer under President Trump. In fact, the entire world was safer when I sat behind that beautiful, resolute desk in the Oval Office. You know, I heard the other day for the first.
Yeah. It was all safe. How many died?
Never said that before. They copy me. When I say we're a nation in decline, guys are copying me. Then they say they shouldn't say that, but they thought the words were beautiful. But they copy me all the time. In that case, it was Republicans that were copying me
They
because
copied you. Well, that part might be true. Republicans.
that he doesn't even know what that's. Exactly 3 years ago this month, the weakness and incompetence of Kamala Harris and crooked Joe Biden delivered the most humiliating event in the history
Well,
of
you
our
don't even still say her name. It's good.
retreat from Afghanistan. Desperate Afghans fell to their deaths from the wheels of U.S. cargo planes that were.
Yeah. Something you tried to promise but could not do. He did.
Bases anywhere in the world. We spent billions and billions of dollars building it many years ago. And you know, it was important to keep it. I was never leaving.
Billions and billions. Who are you, Carl Sagan?
For 18 months while I was there because they knew don't play around with our soldiers. They were killing them. They were killing them under Obama. Did you see Barack Hussein Obama last night? Take little shots. He was taking shots at your president.
He was taking shots. Well, that's a weird thing to say. And of course, you say his middle name.
Sure. Please stick to policy. Don't get personal. And yet they're getting personal all night long, these people. Do I still have to stick to policy? Sir, you must stick to policy. You'll win it on the border. You'll win it with inflation. You'll win it with your great military that you built that they gave away $85 billion worth of it in Afghanistan. Sir, you're going to win it on crime. The crime is.
Yeah, you're going to win it on crime. Your crime.
Especially, I think two things, the economy, inflation, because I view them together, what they've done to inflation, and they caused it with energy. What they did with energy is so stupid. If we were there, our energy, we would be so dominant all over the world right now. We were already energy and
We already are.
further, we gave you the largest tax cuts ever. And
Not me.
happened, but now we're just going to have to sort of call it a delay of 4 years. But these people don't have any idea what they're doing and needlessly killed. I got to know a lot of the relatives, friends, and mothers and fathers of those 13 people.
Yeah, when you snuck on Arlington Cemetery.
Equipment anywhere in the world was handed over to these people. In fact, Afghanistan is now one of the largest arms merchants anywhere in the world. Did you know that? They're selling our equipment at tremendous prices. They're selling our beautiful. We had 70,000 armored trucks, many of them armored trucks.
All right.
100,000 rifles and guns.
Rifles and guns.
We had goggles, brand new, right out of the box. You know, they didn't fight at night because they never had goggles, right? Good fun. Now brand new.
Now they're Goggins. Yeah, David Goggins.
700,000 rifles. They need 20,000. Little difference. They don't need 70,000 vehicles. They need 500 vehicles.
500?
Who bought it all? How disgusted we're all when we see, all of us are, when we see 3 days ago when we viewed their parade our military equipment running down the middle of their main avenue, brand new, beautiful armor plated trucks, tanks, and vehicles.
The new avenue. Right. Right.
Believer, but she's a radical left believer. She ruined San.
She's a radical left believer.
This calamity is on Comrade Kamala Harris's shoulders. I think her name will be Comrade because I think that's the most accurate name. You know, I've been looking for a name. People are saying, sir, don't do it. You know all my names. They've all worked. They've all been very successful. And I really didn't find one with her. Sir, she's a woman. I said, so is Hillary Clinton. I called her Crooked Hillary. So nobody complained about that, right? Right? Mr. Governor, nobody complained.
Everybody complained.
You know, Biden is really angry. You know, he's very angry. He was so angry the other night, he's like seething. You ever see a guy make a speech? It's such anger and so.
That's right. A fellow who makes a speech with such anger.
But he's terrible. He's just terrible. Should have never been there. We all know that. Should have never been there. What they've done to this country is incredible. But she bragged that she would be the last person in the room, and she was. She was the last person in the room with Biden when the two of them decided to pull the troops out of Afghanistan. And by the way, pulling them out was absolutely right. I was going to do it. I'm the one.
Yeah, that's right. You were going to do it. But you didn't.
And the head of the Taliban respected me. I had conversations with him. After my conversations, not one.
Yeah, that's a good guy.
Milley and these guys, you know, we have great generals, but Milley and Mattis and these guys, they didn't know what the hell. I call them television generals. The
television generals. So you are selected. All right.
Final say, and she was all for it. You take the soldiers out. If I took that young person, and if I said, I gave little details, like about 30 seconds worth of details. Would you take the military out first or last? Sure, I'd take the military out last. But they took it out first. And then we left hostages. We left all of the equipment. We left everything. And we left Bagram. And now China is occupying Bagram. Bagram being 1 hour away from where
China is now operating. Hey, right. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, and now we look over here. All right. Yeah. Who's this? Crazies. All right. Right. Now, that is good. We really appreciated that. Now let's go elsewhere. And let's see. Yeah. Okay. This
Trump. I first met Loomer in 2017 at an event for manosphere influencer Mike Cernovich. At the time, Loomer was an activist who'd celebrated the deaths of Muslim migrants, but she was being harassed by white nationalist trolls because she's a Jewish woman. Since then, she's taken a strange trajectory, with years somewhat in obscurity because she'd been banned from so many social media sites like Twitter. When Elon Musk took over Twitter, she came back. She does stunts like ambush interviews.
Frank, why aren't you supporting President Trump? I'm a successful investigative journalist.
she's a successful investigative journalist in this. She has lovely flowing hair, black it is, ribbon.
Loomer recently told CNN she's not anti-Muslim. Now, some might dispute that she's entered the mainstream, but she's reached the former president's elite inner circle. Flying to the presidential debate on Trump's plane,
Yeah. She's so ungrateful. The first thing she did when she came out of the plane was complain about the food.
and to New York as he observed the anniversary of 9/11. A notable appearance since Loomer has pushed the false conspiracy theory that 9/11 was an inside job. She's been seen with Trump a lot.
Real scary. Oh, looking at the camera. Been seen. Yep. 9/11 was an inside job. That's right. That makes a lot of sense. Right. That's a stable individual.
We're here at Bedminster. I'm with the greatest president ever.
After rumors circulated among right-wing Twitter users, including Loomer, that Haitian immigrants are eating people's pets in Ohio, Trump repeated the claim in the debate.
And now comes one of the great moments and one of the greatest things ever said, I must say, by a former president. It will go down in history as the greatest thing anybody ever said.
They're eating the dogs.
They're eating the dogs. Now, dogs, that's bad. They were eating them. But it didn't stop there. It continued. The river, the toy statements. We all know and now.
People that came in.
I spoke to Loomer before.
And cats.
She told me she's attacked as a childless woman who devotes all her time to a man who will never pay attention to her, meaning Trump. But Trump does pay attention to her and reads her reports.
Laura, how are you? You look so beautiful, as always. You don't want to be Loomered. If you're
Well, you can't say lost his charms. Be Loomered. All right. She's a child. She describes herself as a childless lady. But we know one thing: she's not a childless cat lady, because they've all been eaten. They are right back.
Loomered, you're in deep trouble.
Trump. Good morning, everybody. My name is Laura Loomer.
She ran for Congress twice and lost. but she told me she built a constituency among the very pro-Trump voters in the village.
I can promise you one thing. She may not be the greatest, and she may not be the kindest, and she may not be the smartest, but she got the reddest dress in town. Mm-hmm. Red. Oh, it's red.
Villages, a retirement community that's important in Florida Republican politics. She called them boomers for Loomer, and they were paying attention when she began attacking Governor Ron DeSantis for having the temerity to.
If you'll notice, when she had that bullhorn, it didn't make her voice sound the volume any higher. In fact, it made it sound lower, you know. All right, watch her. She's heckling this man.
To run for president against Trump.
You are never going to be president of the United States of America.
This is what she yelled outside is the hospital or something. You're never going to win. Well, awkwardly, she found out she was talking in front of the Trump. All right, now, here we go.
Loomer told me one of her donors let it slip that DeSantis was running for president in 2021. So on the first stop on the DeSantis book tour, she stood in front with a Trump sign and a T-shirt. Despite her new closeness to the former president, some pro-Trump Republicans are very against her.
Her rhetoric and her tone is
Well, I believe that all time has stopped now and the universe has hit its final moment. Because Marjorie Taylor Greene, as they call her, is speaking to be the most reasonable person, is speaking words of wisdom and temperament and judgment and decorum. Let's hear.
does not match the base, does not match MAGA, does not match most Republicans I know. And I'm completely denouncing it. I'm over it.
Did you hear that, folks? She's denouncing that shit. She's over that. I'm proud of her. All right. Let's see what else they say.
There is a growing feud that is playing out in public today, and it's really exposing tensions between Donald Trump's allies. Far-right activist Laura Loomer was seen with Trump yesterday at events commemorating 9/11, despite the fact that she previously spread conspiracy theories about those very terrorist attacks.
Yeah, she posted on social media saying that it was an inside job.
It was an inside job. Yeah, that's nice to bring a person who said that to a 9/11 memorial. All right, that's gross.
She was also seen getting off his plane. You see the video here. This is in Philadelphia, just ahead of the debate. Some of Loomer's comments, though, have proven to be too extreme for some in MAGA world. CNN's Manu Raju's following this story. Manu
to mano, what's the scoop?
Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene is not holding back going after Loomer, and now other Republicans are joining her. What are they saying?
Yeah, that's right. In fact, Marjorie Taylor Greene, someone herself who has been very outspoken, very controversial in some of her rhetoric, but she says what Laura Loomer has been saying has been going too far. She contends it does.
No, you gotta hear that. That's not something you'd really thought you'd ever hear. She's saying that it's gone too far. Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Not represent the MAGA movement, does not represent former President Donald Trump. This is in the aftermath of her racist post about Kamala Harris's Indian heritage. That was too much for Marjorie Taylor Greene. And then
Racist for Marjorie Taylor Greene.
afterwards, Loomer went to attack her on social media. So I asked her about this feud between those two. And this is what MTG said to me just
MTG. This is what she said
moments ago.
I have concerns about her rhetoric and her
I certainly share that.
hateful tone. To me, many of the comments that she makes and how she attacks Republicans like me,
You go, sister.
many other Republicans that are strong supporters of
Also, she's wearing a red dress. You're doing it better there, Marjorie. Keep going.
President Trump, I think they're a huge problem. And that doesn't represent MAGA as a whole.
She's still traveled with the former president. Would you encourage Trump not to keep close contact with her?
You know, Laura Loomer has lost two Republican congressional campaigns, one in a general and one in a primary.
Yeah, keep singing it, baby.
And this is such an important election. I don't think that she has the experience or the right mentality to
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's the words.
advise a very important presidential election. But I do know this, that her rhetoric and her tone does not match the base, does not match MAGA, does not match most Republicans I know. And I am completely.
Now, let's note that the phone rang, and she still continued to say that Laura Loomer's even too extreme for her.
Denouncing it. I'm over it. And I would encourage
She's over it.
anyone else that matches her statements to stop.
Anyone else who matches those statements to stop. Well said, Madam Congresswoman.
But Trump himself was indeed traveling with Laura Loomer in the way to Tuesday's debate. And he's
All right, that doesn't make any sense. All right, let's go over here. Let's see, who else can we see? And yeah, let's see. All right, there I am. Well, let's go. All right. Hold on now. Oh, now we have the majority. All right. You can't help himself. He was a failed sitcom actor in the 90s, but that's all right.
Great listener.
But I'm trying to get past it, trying to get over the resent and the regret and appreciate.
The resent and the regret. Sam, you're good. Usually Sam's pretty good. He's talking now about a news situation.
Has been working on this sitcom for like 3 or 4 years.
Wow.
3 or 4 years.
And this is, I think, I'm not sure which episode.
All right.
To vote for Trump. This is funny stuff. Totally safe for work.
I'm what you call apolitical. That's like being neutered, right? Well, don't tell me you're a Trump fan. I like the guy.
Oh, this is pretty good. This isn't as bad as they were saying.
Well, I don't like what he said about. Watch what he's done.
Watch what he's done. Yeah, go ahead. If you can stomach it.
Actions are what matter.
Actions are what matter. He pretty well brought the United States down to its knees.
He's pro-life. Well,
he's pro-life.
That's great, but that's just a single issue. A single issue? Yes. Right. The right to life is a priority issue. It's a prerequisite issue. It's what.
No, it's not. It's a reproductive rights removed for women, medical issues removed from choice. It's the most horrible thing.
Makes every other right possible. What good is the best education or free healthcare if you're dead? She has a point.
This is some bad stuff.
Well, don't you think he brags a bit too much? I never noticed. He's got a lot to brag about. Look,
he brags too much. That's your second thing.
I stay out of politics, all right? I don't even think I'm registered to vote. To stay out of politics is to let the Marxists control your life, your health, our country.
Well, I agree with that. Staying out of politics is bad.
How can you date a guy that doesn't even vote? Look. Trump.
Pause it for a second. Now, this is what I've.
Now they're giving their commentary, but I'm going to give my own commentary. They're doing all the work here. If you call what this is work, let's go back. We thank them. Is it coming up here?
To stay out of politics is to let the Marxists control your life, your health, our country. How can you date a guy that doesn't even vote?
Oh, it's a joke here now. This is supposed to be dating this man, and this man is probably what, the divorced husband or brother-in-law.
It doesn't want to make America great. I don't know.
Time to break up. Even convert him.
Join this lovely
Right.
little conversation. I'm gonna. I don't know.
All right.
The thing where she's going to have to decide.
Guy that doesn't want to make America great. I don't know.
Time to break up.
Touching segment of.
That's
Where's the?
I just looked it up. Yeah.
Where's the laugh track even?
In the freeze frame here,
they're holding the scripts, right?
I think the guy with his legs up,
they
his
pointed
feet up
this
on
out.
the table, is holding a piece.
And hers is on the table.
Oh right, Janet.
Bruce.
Yeah, maybe try to live.
Final cut, Sam. You wouldn't have the scripts in.
There was a place where, I mean, the sitcom. It was a one-camera show.
Put it out. Right.
Yeah, that
Yeah, right.
This sitcom gets picked up.
Dish anymore? Nope. All right.
The
who else?
gal is
30-year-old.
All right. Now, let's see. Who else can we see? Who else is funny? Let's see. Let's find somebody. I don't even know who it is. Let's see. All right. We have all right. All right. All right. All right. Never knows a done. Who? Oh, no. Huh? All right. 7 years ago. Yeah. All right. This doesn't make any sense. That's not a show anymore. Oh, I know. Yeah. All right. Let's see what this is. All right. This is a person. All right. Does he do live? This guy does this. All right. All right. Yeah, right. Hold on now, everybody. All right. Let's try this. All right. Then we watch this rally because he used to be. Like,
breakthrough. Jesus, I need.
All right.
Out 10,000 Bibles and led thousands. Look at these kids, thousands of kids to the Lord. Those are the football players of the Ohio State Buckeyes on stage praying, giving out Bibles, bringing people to Christ. And I couldn't even fathom what I was seeing.
Well, I don't suppose you could.
This is on a college campus where for the last year, we've seen the most insane thing.
All right, that's dumb. All right, move ahead.
And the wisdom that, who is this? This kid said here, look at this. He goes, a former wide receiver urges Americans to place their hope in Jesus after the Ohio State football players hand out over 10,000 Bibles. Quote, in this country, America, the world, everybody is so divided and looking for answers, and the answer is in Jesus Christ. From a football.
Yeah. He ain't talking about no Trump. Well, you are the knucklehead, sir, and you are no football player. Speak, sir.
Okay, and some will choose, some won't. So what do we need to do? We need to make sure that we're at least that mouthpiece for those that maybe have not had the opportunity to hear and need to hear. And we need to
I don't want you to be a mouthpiece for me.
speak to them with the clarity of the gospel, that is the good news in Jesus Christ, that each and every one of us are sinners. We've sinned.
Yeah, right.
Take that one.
Well, so
what do I do next? Because this, I can't really understand what they're saying.
Great question. Here's the reality. If you have believed in your heart that Jesus Christ is the Son of God, that he died on the cross, and in so doing paid the price for your sins, and you confess that truth with your mouth, okay, according to the scriptures, according to the word of God, you're saved. And you've now been born again, and being born again, okay, now grants you the
Grants you to be able to be a bully and hate people.
right
According to these
to
folks.
spend eternity in heaven. Okay, let's go there.
You can go there. All right, that's dumb. They're bad. Let's go see what there's on a football. Let's see. Here's football, right? It used to be football. Video line. Oh, this guy puts out less stuff. Well, he doesn't really have much on sports. All right. Let's look at all right, we're switching it up here. And let's see how this works. This is sports. That's what this guy does. This is our sports. That's his mother. And
The Lost City.
Thursday, and
he's always negative.
This is the Big O Show.
I'm also told is there too.
It's a fantasyxs.com media group ownership management sponsors the website.
Here he is, the big man himself.
When it comes to South Florida's sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and
No one has lived it like this man. He is the greatest of men. Sometimes he's right, but he's very negative.
Seattle, Washington area.
This
Yes,
is the Big O
food.
Show.
Here's the best food. All right.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Certainly is. Let's see, the Dolphins are playing, I guess.
the viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of fantasyxs.com, media group ownership management sponsors the website.
All right, here we go. Watch him see how long until he gets very, very dark and negative.
When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that
He has a passion.
is unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Good morning, one and all.
He's a good Matthew McConaughey.
Hope you all are doing well. It is Tuesday, September 17th.
What a cool helmet.
Sean Stanley, of course, is the man master.
Let's see.
Thursday, and we'll do something. We'll definitely get a show on, but it'll be our travel day, so that'll be a little bit of a challenge for yours truly. But we'll get it done. We'll get it done, and we're looking forward to our trip to Seattle. So if any of our listeners that may live in the Seattle, Washington area, I am leaving on Thursday morning, so I'll be there all the way through Sunday. I leave Monday morning, and so if you have any
Oh, that's pretty nice. He's inviting you to.
we're gonna Sean and I are definitely gonna go down to the marketplace, and we're gonna attempt to
Catch a fish. That's gross.
fish. You know that whole where they throw the fish and all that. Well, I got to do that. I mean, I'm gonna go there and not do that. You know,
Don't do that.
because I'm gonna use them. Okay, I'll definitely be at the Pike's, right? I think it's called Pike's Place
Pike's
or something.
Place, yeah.
That's where I'll be the first night because I'm gonna go for the Paul Weller concert, and so I definitely will be in that area on Thursday. So I'll need a place later on and all that good stuff. I know some people just listen to segments. It's not as
All right, get to the sports, man. Right.
life is good as long as I got a logo. That's all I'm saying. So thank you for the compliment, and thanks to Ainswear because they always have it. I believe you have to purchase fish at Pike's to throw it. but they'll be tossing the fish around. It's a pretty cool area. Go catch the fish at the marketplace. Local guy, all that good stuff. Yeah, let's get into a little bit of Snoop Huntley. Snoop Huntley signed by the Miami Dolphins,
Tyler Huntley.
and it's a feel-good story because he's a local kid.
He's a local kid.
And I know Nick Hicks also, the local.
Well, this podcast, Fez predicted that 2 weeks ago. You're way behind.
But then if you've got Snoop, then you're going to run a completely different offense. So that tells me that you're going to add the athleticism of Snoop into your offense.
Well, I never heard him called that, but yes, that follows what you're saying. Yes, sir.
Not necessarily the guy that is. That's why when you heard the coach talk about, oh, this is nothing on Skyler, and this is everything I've seen Skyler from day one, and blah, 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 stuff going on. Okay. So he sold you Skyler, and I think, just me spitballing, okay, I think this kid's going to be a package guy,
A package guy? What do you mean? He's going to work for Amazon?
Be a guy that they're going to have some kind of deal going on with him for some kind of plays in certain situations. And they're going to use his athleticism because.
Well, yes, that's true.
Because it just doesn't make any sense. So since he can't really run the offense that you run, then that means you're going to use his skill sets and add them to what you're doing now.
All right, that all makes sense.
That's what's going to happen. That's where I'm at with the whole Snoop Huntley thing.
Snoop.
It's not a real, it's not a fit. You go get Blaine Gabbert. Okay, not a good quarterback, but
Blaine Gabbert
he fits.
Blaine Gabbert doesn't fit anywhere, man. All right, that wasn't so negative. Let's go Ravens. See if we can get on the Ravens. All right. We have inside the campaign headquarters here. And watch how they do it. They do things differently there. Close this. Yeah, all right. Here we go.
I understand. Is that correct?
Here's Johnny Carson.
I have to have time, and
More to come. Yes, Yuri, you can have more time.
Shark, we're back. Uri was telling me you don't feel what, strong tonight? Is that?
I feel strong tonight. No, that's just not the truth. I just don't have any fakes. I'm out of fake.
strong. It's not all tonight. Right now, I'm feeling being pressed, and then I can't.
Well, I'm not trying to press you.
Press you now.
really not.
No, you're only telling me, well, will you try that or that?
But I thought that was the idea of.
I thought that was why you're here, man.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not trying to put you down.
James turned the page of a telephone directory without touching it. And you claim to have done that with psychic power.
Yeah, psychic powers.
You're prepared to demonstrate your psychic powers again. You've warmed up. You're ready to go. Are you, James?
And
Very well.
Randy's going to humiliate you. There he is.
You are prepared to pay him $10,000 if he can turn the page of the telephone directory with certain controls. Is that right?
Well, if you can find that television directory, that should be enough to get the $10,000.
You have the $10,000, do you, Randy?
I do indeed.
The hell you do. This Prince Valiant there.
Now, what I have here is particles of a white plastic, which, when given a good puff.
We're all going to take a bump before we get started with this bullshit.
Good heavy puff of air will, I think, rather conclusively show whether or not blowing is the method accomplished. Now, it will not, perhaps, in some way, differentiate between genuine psychic power and actual blowing, but it certainly should be very interesting.
They were ahead of their time. It's some vulgar ass shit here.
Interesting indeed to see what now occurs.
James,
ready?
Okay, James. Who did that haircut? Here he goes. Please don't humiliate. Oh, Bob Barker, man. You get all them pets spayed and neutered, and you're going to make a jackass out of this guy. All right, here he comes. Nice sitting. Can't do it. No, he can.
This time,
how many pages?
Just one page, once.
One page, sir.
Like
okay.
that.
The styrofoam and the lights form electricity, which pulls the page. Look.
Pulls the page. Wow. That's the problem. They're looking at the yellow pages.
Pulls the page down instead of freeing the pages.
All right. And what would you like to ask us to ask Randy to allow you to do or for me to do?
Either take something else, either lighter or something that is going to keep
You just
that isn't
all the motherfucking dogs and cats.
going to form like static electricity.
You mean put something else, some other material around
Something
here?
that is not foam. Foam causes static electricity, and the light is what heats it up.
All right, Randy, is there anything else that you can put around the telephone directory?
I've heard the question, but the question is not valid because it's making an assumption which is not true. The foam does not in any way create static electricity, and Mr.
Now, this guy's no good at parties, but he's a cool guy.
Hydrate in demonstrating that the pages were clinging together didn't demonstrate it to my satisfaction. I think we could perhaps ask the judges for their opinion on that. I am not a scientist, so I'm not qualified to declare on it.
Judges?
Whatever static electricity exists
This guy doesn't know anything.
in the styrofoam would not really affect the movement of the page or the clinging of the pages together, in my opinion.
I would add that if this is in fact psychic functioning, I don't really see why that would make a difference.
Very well.
They're all scared. They know it's true. It's power.
Randy, would you allow me to turn perhaps half dozen pages and then put them back?
Oh, yes, you may do that, please.
James, I'll just lift up 1, 2, be helpful to you.
The static is going to still be here because of the foam.
Enough with the goddamn phone, man.
See, that's what
Well,
I'm
it is
saying.
the opinion of the judges that there's not enough static formed by the foam to be a problem. Under the conditions agreed upon, that now you should at least try with psychic power to turn the telephone directory.
Okay.
Well, now they're not having any compassion for the man. Yeah, I just gotta do it. Pick up on your phone, man. Just ask Siri. What he's thinking. I was thinking further and further. And that hands thing. I'll do it.
It's not going to turn for you?
You get a chance to warm up. It's not going to turn for you. Well,
have you reached the point then when at which we can declare the demonstration terminated?
Yeah. I'm sick of this shit.
This isn't a magician's trick. I can't just come up, bang, bang, and it's over. I have to be to where I can work with something small and then big, to build
Small and then big.
up my own self. So this is, it isn't a trick. It has to be done. This is just, it's power. It's mental
power. It just doesn't work.
Power.
The conditions agreed upon have been fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
Bob, the comment very briefly is that I have gone through many hundreds of these tests with many hundreds of people who claim to have psychic powers. And quite frankly, it's more or less the same story every time. When a simple, direct...
This guy's mad, though. This guy's thinking some bad thoughts. He is pissed off.
Very uncomplicated protocol is used, and the control is applied. The psychic forces don't seem to be present, if indeed they are ever present at all.
Well, that's the way that went. I hope it all worked out in the end. I think they, if I recall correctly. All right. Now let's see. Who else can we look in on? Let's see. Hold on now. Let's end all this on a good note. And yeah. Let's end this on a good note. What do we got here? Okay. We will go. Let's be positive. All right, now we're going to try some of this. All right. That's Fox. Why is it Fox? What? Wait, this is... Oh, that's 2 days ago. Okay, hold on. All right. Going to be a positive ending to this. Share. And yeah. All right. Let's see what they're saying here. All right.
Can we please give it up for our President Joe Biden?
Yeah, you certainly can.
Oh, it's good to be back. Please have a seat, everyone. Please have a seat. I have to say, it is so good to be back. And let me just say about Joe Biden,
There she is, a laughing and a happy.
Hello to all my divine nine brothers and sisters.
Aye.
And my soror.
Happy.
And to all my HBCU brothers and sisters.
HBCU. Brothers and sisters.
But let me just talk for a moment about Joe Biden.
Yeah.
It has been the honor of my lifetime to serve as his vice president. And I'll tell you, I have worked very closely with him, whether we are in the Oval Office or the Situation Room. Joe Biden is always fighting for the American people. And I
About time somebody said it.
do know that history will show what we here all know. He has been one of the most transformative presidents in American history.
Yeah, there you go. Finally, somebody's saying it.
And so I thank you, Joe Biden, for everything you are and everything you have yet to do. And thank you also to all the leaders of CBC, Chair Stephen Horsford, CBCF Chair Terry Sewell, and ALC co-chairs Troy Carter and Lucy McBath for your years of service to CBC and to our nation.
Okay, that's awesome. That is awesome. All right, let's see. That was nice. That was nice. Okay, and now we're gonna go to let's get some local. Some local stuff. I don't see anything here. Can't see nothing. All right. 5.7. I don't even know if they have a podcast. No, they don't seem to. Do they have a podcast? No, they do not. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Wait. Well, they don't seem to have. Okay, let's go to old. What's his name? A friend. All right, we're looking over here. The latest was 1 day ago. This is a day ago. Let's check in. We're going to check in on our old buddy. This man is a sports legend in this town. All the good fights. And he knows Baltimore. Here he is. Go down here. All right. Okay, now we're checking in on our old buddy. No longer nasty, but positive for Baltimore. From an old AM station at 1570 to all around the world. The man who crusades for all the sports teams in Baltimore. A character, if there ever was a character. Yeah, and let's see what he's doing now on his show today. The other day, he's always running around Baltimore somewhere. All right. Yeah. Where is he? There he is. All right. Let's see. Slow today here. We've been running a lot of stuff here. All right.
It's beautiful.
Look at that. There he is. There he is.
Federal House.
Man himself.
We're right on the square in Annapolis, right?
The Federal House in Annapolis.
Downtown
I know it.
And they brought this thing out, and it's a crab claw with this incredible ceviche crab.
It's incredible. Nasty nose food.
Crab salsa, and there's an oyster underneath there. It's some of the shells. I mean, check this out, man. They're just like dangling little babies growing. So I got to learn about all this. We're going to be at the B&O Railroad Museum. It's the Oyster Recovery Partnership. It's their big event on the 26th. You can come. You can buy tickets and meet all the oyster farmers and eat.
Oh, that down at that's pretty close to this undisclosed building.
Cool oysters, but we're going to be doing that on the 26th. We'll be broadcasting from there as well. And I'm going to be talking about this. This thing is unbelievable. Learning about oysters, eating oysters, getting out in the neighborhood, tasting oysters. It's all brought to you by friends at Living Pure Solutions, as well as Curia Wellness. And the beer's been good. The company's been good. The oysters have been good. Even my camera holder doesn't love seafood so much. We're going to fight over this last one. So it might be the biggest oyster for the tour as well. Day 8, Annapolis.
Well done, sir.
This was a wise choice.
Thank you, sir. Now here's another thing. Here's the Orioles game. You can watch the Orioles game. I'm promoting this site. It's very strange and not sure if it was legal. I was going to go to the Orioles game, but it looked like it was raining out. But it looks like they're playing. Let's see what they're saying. He's looking outside too. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Wait. He's looking out there. All right. Let's see. This man does the play-by-play in his own very inventive way. It's not the game itself. But somehow, yeah, there it is. Somehow he's not doing the game. But it looks raining outside. Watch this. It's a clipping and a clipping. It's a moving. No, wait. Ringing around. What's the trouble? What is the trouble? Not sure. Just don't know what happened there. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Watch this guy. Share screen. Oh, look at this guy. Yeah. Mac show. Let's see. It's the bottom of the first. This guy calls it like he watching it somewhere, and he put it on his
1-2
screen.
pitch.
It's called.
That is lifted foul behind the plate. We'll do it again. Somebody.
They're playing downtown.
Mentioned Mountie in the chat. There's actually some encouraging news regarding Ryan Mountcastle. I thought his chances of a return for the postseason were pretty slim, but apparently he is now on a similar projected path back as Westberg and Arias.
Ryan Mountcastle
in the
might,
bottom of the first, 1-0
back.
Giants.
This is an interesting way to watch the
so
game.
Westberg apparently took live BP in the cage here at Oriole Park today.
All right. Well,
they just keep saying end of the season return. I don't know if they're going to get any games in before game one of whatever.
I just wanted to show people that way. All right. No. Let's see. Let's see. Let us see. All right. That is the show so far for the night. Trying out a bunch of new things and working on delivery of the show. So I will say, look, I got this cool shirt, huh? See it? You like that? Yeah. I can work on my posture as well. All right, everyone. That is the program for the evening so far. And we will be back later with some other cool broadcasts. And I have to call up my bank. So I will say, so long, so long. So long I go. I am saluting the rank, not the man. I never salute the damn man. All right, this is CG. Hoping to see y'all. Y'all have a wonderful night. Tomorrow, we hope to be working on some video. Some neighborhoods. We're going to be back in some neighborhoods this week. And we're watching the Ravens. And we're going to go over the Ravens game later. All right, everybody. See how this worked. Okay. Let's see if we can get some music out here. Let's see. Let's get some background music to get us out. To feel good, have a great night, sit back, relax, and it's going to be all right. Everything's just going to be fine. So just relax, everybody. and have a great Tuesday night. Chilling. All right. All right, let's look like the weather in Baltimore. The weather in Baltimore. It's Tuesday, and it is 80 degrees and 66 and raining. 73 and raining right now. And it's going to be cool tonight. Sleep-in weather. All right, everybody. Have a great night.